I went on my first diet when I was about age 12. My nan was going to Weight Watchers. I think it was for the tea and cake, quite frankly. I don't know, because her friends were going. I really don't know why she was going. I never remember having conversations about my weight. Anyway, I went along and restricted my diet, my food for the week, and the next week I was rewarded. And I can remember what I got. So I got a sticker that said, you know, you've lost 7 pounds this week, you're our loser of the week. And I got this plastic red rose, and you've got to take it home for the whole week and like have it there to remind you that you were really doing it. You know, had that experience not happened, like the first idea that I could restrict my diet, and at 12 my body was changing, and that's probably at the point where my secret eating started and my binging. And I can remember using my pocket money to buy 3 or 4, well, they were called marathons then, and I used to literally, there was an alleyway beside our house, and I used to hide there so that I could throw the wrappers in the bin before I got home, so no one would know that I ate them. And I used to hide food wrappers in my drawers. I've carried those learned behaviours with me all my life. Yeah, so I was reasonably overweight, I would say, through school. And then teenage years, I was busy, lots of exercise, lots of dancing, lots of going out. So I wasn't really aware of my weight again, and I don't think it was a massive thing for me. But then when I had my first serious relationship, I can remember thinking those kind of thoughts when I was looking at magazines, or maybe my body isn't right. And then feeling really sad and really empty when relationships were, you know, just the usual breakups, that kind of stuff. And literally not knowing what to do with this big hole, and I filled it with food. So my diet was just dreadful, just relying on sugar and processed foods. I kept those tubs that you can buy in Marks and Spencer's. I mean, one wasn't enough. I could never have just one biscuit, so I'd try and have them not in the house. But because I was living on my own, no one was seeing me eating. And then I got married, so again I restricted myself before the wedding. And then our fertility journey started, which started with me finding out that I had polycystic ovaries. And when I was Googling it and getting books about it, obviously there is an impact on how you process stuff and how you react to sugar and stuff like that. I clung on to this reason. It was amazing. I had a reason for being overweight, so I just kind of enjoyed that for a bit. And then we started our IUI and IVF, and to do IVF you have to be a certain BMI, so I was measured at hospital, and I was constantly measured, and constantly this thought that I can have a baby if I reach this weight. I restricted my food, you know, to quite a dangerous point. I was just eating crackers, and I was very tired. I did various shake diets, and actually fainted at work from one of those. I did the cabbage soup diet. Ultimately, none of them worked for me, because diets don't work. I know that now. And I wasn't being kind to myself. I was punishing myself for eating things, and just this constant fixation, not necessarily from me, but from other people, because I wanted a baby, and the only way I could have a baby was through fertility treatment. The only way I could get fertility treatment was to be a certain weight. And so it was really tough. There is obviously health reasons that you would want to be within a weight range for an operation for those kind of things. But yeah, it was hard, and it was all on me. I did it, and obviously once I was pregnant, that was it. And I had a really tough pregnancy, so I was bedridden for a lot of the time. I wasn't even walking, and again eating, you know, I didn't know how to fuel my body. I didn't have that knowledge, and I do think that was one of the reasons why I was so poorly, because I was just eating nothing with any nutrients in whatsoever. So things like my teeth crumbled, and then with postnatal depression, again in a place that didn't feel like I had any choices, and I had a learned behaviour that food made me feel better. I'm 40 now, so it has taken me 40 years to get to this point where I am confident in my body, and I'm working towards health, feeling amazing. I've just had some comments from the lovely ladies that are here with me today helping me film this about my skin looking so good. And the reason my skin looks so good is because I'm feeding my body with the nutrients and the water and everything that it needs. You know, I have lost weight recently, and I have lost weight since we started Supercharged Club. But what's most significant for me is that the emotional eating, I have other ways of finding comfort. which was what I was looking for from food. And a lot of us have these learned behaviours that we can ignore. You know, nothing dreadful is going to happen if we ignore them, but what we don't necessarily realise is how amazing that we can feel just by choosing different food and choosing love and kindness and being kind to ourselves. And I can't say that I'm never going to binge again or that I'm cured or fixed, because I'm a human being. I'm not broken. I just learn and educate myself in how to be kind to myself and find other ways of finding the stuff that I was feeding with food. So that's me.